Let's listen to TLDR News, TRDL News for a second. Talk about the Constitution of Britain, the Constitution of the United Kingdom.
The UK Supreme Court. Now, we don't want to get too bogged down in any legal stuff, mainly because no one at TLDR News is a lawyer, but this concept has been recognised in UK law. In 2002, in the famous Metric Martyrs case, Lord Justice Laws, the judge who was ruling on the case, declared that certain acts, namely the Parliament Act and the Human Rights Act of 1998, were constitutional statutes, which could not be implicitly repealed by a new law that contradicts them. A similar thing happened in 2012, when Lord Hope, ruling on a different case, held that the Scotland Act can only be expressly repealed. It cannot be impliedly repealed. That is because of its fundamental constitutional nature.
There you go. A constitutional act can't be overturned. Okay, so the United Kingdom's constitution is a bunch of bullshit. It's about as real as Santa Claus. There's no such thing. England and the Constitution, England and the Bill of Rights, motherfucking Britannia doesn't give a shit about a constitution nor a Bill of Rights. The Constitution of the United Kingdom is as real as Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy combined. And when you combine all the traditions of the Easter Bunny and the Santa Claus, and then the statutes and the parliamentary and the 1215 Magna Carta Act, fuck off, motherfuckers. The UK Constitution is bullshit. It's not there. It's an illusion. It's not there. It's invisible. What are you all talking about? Jesus Christ. You think there's an invisible man up in the clouds, right? You also believe that there's an Abraham. He was a guy in history, and Moses, right? You believe that that was a guy in history, and Noah. And then, of course, Adam and Eve. And then, of course, Cain and Abel. And why did Cain and Abel fuck up the feast? You know, Cain and Abel, Cain, you bring your goddamn motherfucking, fruits and vegetables, and Abel, you bring your sheep and you bring your meat. We got a fucking feast. But you're gonna burn your sheep for that piece of shit, and he's gonna be an asshole to me because he don't like fruits and vegetables, but he's gonna be appreciative of you because he likes you fucking burning lambs? That doesn't make sense. That guy's a piece of shit. Let's cut that guy out. And then just make sure you bring the meat, I bring the fruits and vegetables, and then we fucking feast. Cain and Abel fucked up. Now Samson, don't even tell me that Samson wasn't real. That motherfucker just made it all come. See you later. Was it Philistines? Sayonara, Philistines. Some people say that the United Kingdom actually does have a constitution, right? If you just... it's unwritten, which there's an old saying in Kentucky. If it's not written down, the only verbal contract that you agree to is one that's written down. That's the only verbal contract you agree to is one that is written down. So it's just assumed from policies of yesteryear. That's what they try to say, okay? Look, bruh, whenever the fucking Brits... Whenever they try to tell us they don't have a real democracy, their fucking democracy is a sham. At the very least, we need 51% voting, right? You need consent of the majority. And what do you got? 13 fucking 20-something million people, probably more. You only have 100,000 people, the Tories, that voted. 200 at the most, 100 to 200,000 Tories that vote. And it didn't even go to the Tories. It just stayed in the leadership. And so that means out of the leadership, just 100 people decided the brand new prime minister. But it wasn't a fucking democracy the whole time. Fucking Britain is still goddamn fighting the revolution, those rat bastard motherfuckers. The only reason why there's the Bill of Rights... Okay, so let me give you their argument. What do the people that say Britain has a constitution, what do they say? Well, they say that it's assumed. It's assumed. When you look at the history of Britain, England... Right? You kind of... The king and the queen is there, but they don't want you to pay attention to them. Just kind of pay attention to Parliament. And I do like that Parliament is like an active democracy, and I like president or prime minister's questions. It almost seems like Britain's democracy, while they don't have it, it also seems like it functions better than America's because their government is ready to, fucking do some shit. They're ready to lead. They're ready to pass some shit. All eyes on them. Whereas our government, it's like, maybe they'll do something. Maybe not. Probably not, right? They've never done shit for me, so probably not. There's a government. There's people there. They ain't gonna do shit. But they say if you combine all these laws together, King John's 1215 Magna Carta. They don't pay attention to any of this shit. Cromwell's fucking constitution. You know Cromwell had a constitution? So you have King Charles I, his head's chopped off, and then they get the 1689 Bill of Rights. Well, that's interesting, huh? You chop off a king's head, and you get the Bill of Rights. You get a 1689 Bill of Rights. And why the hell would any postmodern nation have a fucking king or queen? How embarrassing. Some asshole family said, hey, we get to rule over you, and they're still fucking ruling over you? Goddamn Britain, goddamn England. That's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty embarrassing. So you take all these fucking things, right? You take the 1706 and the 1707 and the 1801 Union Acts. You got Wales, Scotland, Ireland, England. You got colonialism. You got the Anglo-Irish Treaty. You got the Northern Ireland remained in the Union. So you have the Same-Sex Couples Act of 2013. That's interesting. That protects gay folks. 2013, the Same-Sex Couples Act. But they're saying this is what it's an unwritten, uncodified. Of course, England is a democracy. I mean, they have elections every once in a while, so that's kind of. I think they actually did pass elections every 5 years, so they got to have elections 5 years. So that's. They have a kind of democracy. In fact, America, because of the Electoral College, we have a kind of democracy too. And it doesn't take consent of the majority. If fucking 10% of the people in America voted, that's all that America needs. What, you got the majority of 10%? Well, get on in there and run everybody. 330 million people, that's right. So you have the Parliament Acts of 1911 and 1949, the 1215 Magna Carta, the 1689 Bill of Rights. You combine the 1706, 1707, the 1801 Union Acts, and the Marriage Act of 2013, and the Parliament Acts, and the Act of Settlement 1701, the Parliament Acts, and the Human Rights Act of 1998, and the Human Right and the Scotland Act, and that's it. And that's it. That's what they say tradition, and then they say statutes, and then they say common law. But essentially they say, well, we had the Magna Carta, and we had the Bill of Rights, and we had the Union Act, and we have the Marriage, and we had the Parliament Act, and we had the fucking Human Rights Act, and you put all that together, that's a democracy. That's a constitution. What the fuck are you saying? You are pissing on me, and you're telling me that it's raining. You are putting together a bunch of shit and some fucking piss, and then you sprinkled some fucking pepper on it. And you say, voila, that's a constitution. That is not a fucking constitution. That is not a Bill of Rights. We got in America not just a Bill of Rights from the U.S. Constitution, but from our state governments. So we have, 50 to 100 fucking freedoms. Guaranteed legal constitutional freedoms. We have an actual contract with our government. So the government may act a fool, and they may infringe upon our freedoms and rights, but we got a contract that we can look right at and say, okay. And the fucking judges and the goddamn cops and the constitutional law prevails. Constitutional law prevails in America. England needs a constitution. England needs a fucking constitution. That's what they say. Look, bruh. Look, bruh. Yeah, you gotta say bruh, right? This is a fucking bruh moment. A bruh moment. Hey, bruh. Looky here, I got hooky. Looky, I got hooky. Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, R.I.P. Bruh, just call the whole thing. What would Laverne be without her, Shirley? What would Laverne be without her, Shirley? But then more importantly, what would Shirley be without her, Laverne? What would Shirley be without her, Laverne? So that's stupid. That's stupid. If I was to walk into a fucking store or some shit in a contract, I don't know, some fucking contract land. I go to, fucking whatever. I don't even have a good example, but I go to Idaho and I buy a fucking piece of ground and I got a contract and it says, hey, I give you money and then you give me land and then somehow you fucking infringe upon that bullshit. The right to a contract should be fucking sacred. It's in our constitutions and the court should uphold the right to contract. Even if you just scribble down a little thing on a piece of paper. You sign this, I sign this. There's a contract. You got to uphold your bargain. I got to uphold my end. So the Parliament Acts, just to give you an explanation of some of these, 1911, 1949, it's established in law that the primacy of the House of Commons. So you had, the Parliament is fucking supreme back in King John's. That's the Magna Carta in 1215. Oh, we got a constitution. Nah, King John way back in fucking 800 years ago signed a document that's like our constitution. But it's not. No, it's not really. So why do you keep saying, nah, because I got to? The king wears no clothes. No, he's got the most beautiful clothes. He's got the most gorgeous of gowns. No, the emperor is wearing no clothes. The emperor is naked, dude. The emperor has no constitution, no fucking Bill of Rights. No, the emperor is just oppressing you. He's just using you for cannon fodder, taking your taxes. He don't give a shit about you. Bills could be presented for royal assent without the approval of the second chamber as long as a certain amount of time had elapsed and certain other conditions were met. The Lords no longer had any power at all to reject bills certified as relating to financial matters, giving the Commons clear control over money. Wow, that's pretty fucking... Who the House of Lords? Why do we have a House of Lords? Why do we still have the Royalists? What the fuck is going on? Is our Congress the House of Lords and Commons? So we said the House of Reps and the House of Senators, but it's really Lords and Commoners? Is that what you're trying to tell me? So the United Kingdom, they had a super duper fucking fast Tory election. What was that? A 3-day election? It was like, bam! There's an election. Bam! Boris Johnson could have came back, which is fucking, I bet y'all shit a brick. What do you think about that, Russell Howard? I guess them's the breaks, eh, England? I guess them's the breaks, eh, England? How come every time Russell Howard insults the Prime Minister, they go down? Do not get on Russell Howard's bad side. How in the hell do we have Rishi Sunak still the Prime Minister? How do you still have the fucking royalists still oppressing the shit out of all you? You so smart and you fucking know what's going on? How come you don't have a constitution? You ain't got a Bill of Rights? You got 3 branches of government? Are you sure? Which one? And then who's the? And then Boris Johnson's scandals. These got to be the lamest scandals in the fucking world. He had a COVID party, right? Fucking COVID. So he did a Gavin Newsom, right? Hey, you guys, don't you go out in public and cough on each other. Meanwhile, he's coughing on all his buddies and friends and shit. And he caught COVID. And I was a little worried about him. And he thanked the national healthcare system for saving his life. So what was my point? England has a national healthcare system and America doesn't. So Boris Johnson is actually to the left of Joe Biden. But the 2 scandals, okay, he goes to a COVID party, coughed on his buddies and shit. The other scandal was he had hired a person, he had hired somebody, and they was a part of their cabinet, part of the fucking, somehow, part of the goddamn hierarchy. And he patted the butt of some other man at a cocktail party. So one government man that Boris Johnson hired patted the butt of another man, and I'm pretty sure that's it. That's like he might have, squeezed, and it's a crime, and it's a sexual assault, and you shouldn't do that type of shit. But fire that man, right? I guess fine him, fire him, jail him, whatever. Just get the other man to smack him. I think that would probably be... Alright, what, he squeezed your butt? Okay, you get to slap him in the face. 1 forward hand and 1 backhand. But me as an American, the scandals we're fucking used to, do you know who our presidents are? Do you know who the last fucking 27 presidents are? You remember motherfucking Epstein? You remember motherfucking Prince Andrew? Prince Andrew's got more to answer for than Boris Johnson ever did. So does Clinton, so does Trump. If anything, Boris Johnson's coolness kept fucking England, Britain, the United Kingdom relevant in the motherfucking United Kingdom, UK, Great Britain, England. Make up your fucking minds, you assholes. You got 4 or 5 countries there. Why do you keep pretending? And then Ireland isn't yours. But Boris Johnson, he had that hair, that swagger. You were imperialist fucking dickholes. You guys were assholes. But Boris Johnson, he mispronounces those English words. Like freaking hilarious. Boris Johnson makes the lingua franca of the world kaput. Boris Johnson makes the lingua franca of the world kaput. So Lauren Boebert did both of those two scandals this past weekend. Patted a guy's butt, fucking went to a COVID party. Give me a fucking break. Jesus Christ. And frankly, you gotta ask the goddamn job, was he doing a good job? When I was on a basketball team, my coach would, it's just manners. It's just good sportsman-like behavior. Get on in there. But may I suggest 5 changes, England? Number 1, you need to institutionalize English. Really, that's the only fucking thing you got. You don't really have, you got your fucking arrogance. You're a bunch of, I don't even think you're sophisticated anymore. I know a bunch of fucking pretend fucking, people say economics. So many motherfuckers say economics. That's not smart. That's not intelligent. If you don't have an economic model, shut the fuck up. That's not working class. I'm not convinced you're smart, you stupid fuck. I think you say that word to pretend that you're fucking smart. England, you need a constitution right now with 3 branches of government and ranked choice voting and 100 freedoms in your Bill of Rights. If you want to make your democracy better than America, get yourself a constitution, get yourself a Bill of Rights, and then get yourself ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting, that's the creme de la creme of presidential elections. Fuck parliamentary systems, you motherfuckers. Vote for the parties. You eventually, if you like the personality enough, you do vote for the parties. But it's about the people, it's about the individual agenda and individual policies. Who gives a fuck what the Bank of England wants? We're all gonna fucking bow down to the Bank of England. Didn't they steal Venezuela's gold? Shouldn't the Bank of England give Venezuela back their gold? But England, you gotta get some constitution. You gotta get a 3-branch government, a 3-branch style constitution, 100 freedoms in your Bill of Rights, ranked choice voting, have a better election system than America. For once you could actually, there's a couple things. You got a fucking healthcare system. Shit. So even though you don't have a democracy, you have elections. You have like basically a thin veil of democracy. It's enough. It's more of a democracy, and it's gotten you more, and it's gotten you farther. And yeah, we got a lot of fucking issues. God, we got a lot of issues we need to fix. But thank you, Britain. By you being the mirror and me saying you need all this, I see what. But you also need a universal basic income. Give $10,000 to every one of your citizens, and put the fucking royalists out to pasture. God damn it, you don't need kings and queens any motherfucking more. If anything, who's your best basketball or football player? Make him your royal family. Who's the best rugby player you got? The best rugby player you got? Make that motherfucker. Just give a shit about his fucking everything. Who's he dating? What's he say? What's this? Is he paying his bills? Just be fucking, you know how crazy you are about your Meghan Markle? Go fucking nuts over your star rugby player. 150 people. That's not a democracy, England. Well, Rishi Sunak is the alpha male of the fucking Great Britain. Yeah, what's so great about Britannica? What's so great about Britannica, the United Kingdom? That's royalist talk. Why not the fucking United Presidential Realm? Why not fuck a king or queen? Fucking presidents. Now that's, I'm in awe of a president. A president has to convince millions of people to support him. A fucking queen or king, they just say, hey, I want to run you. I want power over you. No, I want power over you. Why do you think you get power over me? Because my dad had power over you, and my grandma had power over you. So I can have power over you. That's not a good reason. I'll vote for the person that helps me, with my life the best. No! I don't want to help your life. I want to oppress you and take your taxes and use you for cannon fodder and piss in your faces so I can have a hearty laugh when I piss in the faces of peasants because I'm a king. If the Tories don't get it right this time, a general election has to be right around the corner. Why not just schedule? One's scheduled 2 years from now anyways, right? So just fucking highlight that fact. Advertise that fact. A general election is coming right around the corner. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Oh, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Why is the UK such a goddamn mess? Because you don't have a constitution. Why the fuck is UK's economy crashing? You don't have a Bill of Rights. How come you don't have a central document that the entire nation coalesces around? You coalesce around the Bank of England? Oh no, not the bank! And the motherfucking royalist sons of bitches. You fucking English royalist pieces of shit. You're still fighting the American Revolution. We settled that shit in 1776. We were right back then. We're right today. We were right in 76. We were right in 89. And we're still right in 22. Penny Mordaunt. What happened to Penny Mordaunt? Boris Johnson, oh, I guess them's the breaks again, huh? He doesn't get... You tricked me, Boris. I got all excited, you son of a... And now with Hillary and Donald, they just keep coming back. Are you actually running, you piece of shit, or are you just fucking threatening it, you asshole? Just to fuck up the whole conversation. Of course we have a contract. No, it's right here written in invisible ink. No, the invisible man in the clouds, he's got a hold of it. He's got it in his pocket. Right there in his front pocket. God. No, God has the contract. I have a contract with God. That's who I got a contract with. I don't need a Cromwell's instrument of government. I want to look at Cromwell's instrument of government. Cromwell brought forth the Bill of Rights and the instrument of government. So Cromwell got you a constitution and a Bill of Rights after he chopped off the king's head, and you all kept the fucking kings, and you didn't keep the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. You know the English Bill of Rights is fucking brilliant. It is. You can't have a standing army. You got a right to bear arms. It's fucking. You have a right to speak. You should just adopt the English Bill of. Just if you don't adopt a brand new Constitution, just say the Magna Carta and the fucking English Bill of Rights. That's two good founding documents. I'm impressed. I bet you our Bill of Rights came from the English Bill of Rights. I bet you our Constitution might have came from fucking Cromwell's instrument of government. I'm just saying, if you fucking chop off Marie Antoinette's head, and then you get yourself a fucking, democracy, a democratic republic, you're not just going to be oppressed by a king and queen no more. You chop off Marie Antoinette's head, and you get a Bill of Rights and prosperity. You get fucking freedom and prosperity. Just seems like, I don't know why you would keep a Marie Antoinette around. So there you go. You combine the traditions. You take the Parliament Acts of 1911 and 1949, and you mix it together with the Marriage Same-Sex Couples Act of 2013, and then the Anglo-Irish Treaty Act, and the Union Acts of 1706, 1707, and 1801, and then, of course, the Bill of Rights of 1689, and then, of course, the Magna Carta, the 1215 Magna Carta. When you put all that, you get what, freckle juice? That's fucking freckle juice. When you put all that shit together, piss and shit, and more shit and piss, that's just fucking freckle juice. And freckle juice is nasty. Freckle juice does not taste good. There was no reason to make freckle juice in fucking 3rd grade. Why did she make us make freckle juice in the 3rd grade? And where did Laura ever go? I had a back brace on and she still liked me. Or was that 4th grade? That was 4th. No, that was 3rd. And the 4th. And who is that bully? And Michael Jackson, R.I.P. in Grant County, Kentucky. He was hill hopping. Fucking crashed into a tree. Funny motherfucker. Funny motherfucker. He cracked us up all the time at CMZ, Crittenden Mount Zion. What's up? The UK Constitution has multiple guardians. Yeah, you don't even have the Supreme Court. We're going to protect the freckle juice, the House of Lords Constitutional Committee, the Commons Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee, the Lord Chancellor. The Lord Chancellor. Do not trust the royalists around a fucking Constitution or a Bill of Rights. And since y'all don't have a Constitution or a Bill of Rights, you got no fucking guarantees whatsoever that your government isn't just going to fuck you over. So, big shocker, huh? The government's fucking you over. You don't have rights or freedoms. You don't have a contract. They don't. Your government doesn't need the consent of the fucking people. You don't need the fucking. Ah. Last thing I'm going to mention. Maybe not the last thing. But America's had a constitution since 1788. And we had a Bill of Rights since 1791. So we've had a constitution and a Bill of Rights for over 200 fucking years, okay? Not just a U.S. constitution, but all the states have constitutions too. So we have a double-decker of 3 branches of government, a Bill of Rights, and all those bills of rights also have a right to revolution. So we have a right to overthrow our fucking selves by the Constitution. We have a constitutional, legal, natural right to overthrow our goddamn selves whenever the fuck we feel like it. Plus a whole plethora, a whole fucking cornucopia, a whole goddamn feast, a fucking motherload. But it's not just America. You know, San Marino had a constitution in 1600, way back when, and then Pilip Orlik of 1710. That's the hetman of Ukraine. This is a Cossack. He had a fucking constitution in 1710. That's before fucking Montesquieu. That's before goddamn America. That's before basically all the constitutions of the world except for San Marino. Canada got a constitution in 1867. Denmark, 1849. Sweden, 1848. Poland constitution, there was a 1791 constitution, 1814 constitution for Norway. Germany had the Weimar Constitution, also a 1949 constitution. Germany also has a Bill of Rights to boot. Oh shit! Look at that, Britain. Hey, Redcoat, you Redcoat bastards. Germany's got a constitution. Germany's got a Bill of Rights. Why doesn't Great Britain want to be as great as Germany is? Why doesn't the United Kingdom want to be as united? Fucking united we stand, divided we fall. The Brexit motherfuckers. So 1748 is when Montesquieu wrote the Spirit of the Laws. San Marino had a constitution before that, and then Pilip Orlik had a constitution, the hetman of Ukraine. The document represented the height of Ukrainian legal political thought in the early 18th century. So Ireland's had 2 constitutions. England needs to take a lesson from their Irish neighbors. England needs to look to France and America and Ireland and fucking Germany and Sweden and Denmark and every fucking country in the world. The reason why you have a constitution, it reflects the national sovereignty of your people. It's based on a system of representative democracy within the tradition of liberalism. The whole point of fucking democratic capitalism has won. Democracy has won, you fucking piles of shit. Capitalism has won, you communist pieces of shit. We are a bunch of motherfucking Americans as a nation, historically, and our imperialism. We are capitalist Democrats. We believe in a democratic republic. We believe in electing our leaders. We believe in electing our own mayors and governors and presidents. We elect our kings here. We believe in democracy. We believe in liberalism. Not only do we get a vote for our government, but we also get to run our fucking business how we fucking choose. We got a Bill of Rights. We have freedoms in this country. So, we have democracy and we have capitalism. That's what we've been exporting all over the world. That's what the end of history is. That's what the term classical liberalism, when you hear Dave Rubin talk about it, that's what he's talking about. So Ireland has a 1937 constitution. That was to replace the Irish Free State Constitution of 1922. So they had 2 constitutions already. And that's what, 1922, that's a 100-year anniversary. Ireland's had a fucking constitution for 100 fucking years. England, not a fucking day, not a goddamn second. Your Magna Carta, let's talk about the Magna Carta. So that's the comparing and contrast. Ireland has a constitution. Motherfucking Canada, Denmark, Sweden, Poland. Canada is a little bit dicey, but they got one. Norway, Germany. You want to be as good as Ireland? You want to be as good as Germany? You want to be as good as France? Fucking England, you're fucking slipping, motherfucker. You don't have a constitution. You don't have a Bill of Rights. Put it before the fucking people. Let the people vote on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. and then see what King Charles III talks about. He'll probably say he don't want a crown from the gutter. Even if you made him president, he would probably spit on the fucking Bill of Rights and the Constitution. That'll fucking tell you exactly what kind of king you got. That piece of shit don't give a fuck if you got a Constitution. The Constitution takes away his power and says that the people get to run themselves. He don't want that. And the Bill of Rights, the people have rights. God, he's a monarch. He's an oppressor. He's the head fascist authoritarian. You got to shut the fuck up and get in line. But what if all of the wickedness in the world comes from oppression? Then that means England, you're all been fucking wicked as shit. You've been oppressed the entire fucking time. I'll talk about the Magna Carta coming back up. It's an agreement reached at Runnymede in 1215 between King John and a group of English barons who had been part of the rebellion against the king. Okay.